I throw in two thoughts and you can tell me if I'm understanding you the right way? I think one of the things that's always, there's a couple things that have always annoyed me. I'm a big fan of the PMBOK guy, but there's a couple things that have always annoyed me.
6 or 7?
Whatever.
No, it's not the same.
Yeah. The last one annoys me more than the ones previously.
Yeah. Good. We're in agreement.
And the clown logo from PMI annoys me too, but that's a different story. One of the things I've noticed in the PMBOK, and I appreciate it because it's very difficult to put it into a PMBOK guide. Two things that we're missing is number one, the concept of scale. Mm-hmm. Okay. If somebody reads the PMBOK guide who manages small projects, where most project managers start, they get a headache and say, I'm supposed to do all this stuff? Are you nuts? It's overkill. Yes. Right? So there's no scaling, and I appreciate and understand that if you read the PMBOK and if you're experienced, you will have the experience, as you say, to reduce the amount of tools that you need depending on the job, which is the first form of situational. Can I apply what the large compendium, okay, can I scale it down to my needs? That was the first situation. And the second situational thing that I think is missing in the PMBOK guide, it used to be kind of adhered to in the SIGs, special interest groups, you remember, is not everything is an IT project.
Absolutely.
Okay? Not everybody wants to do story points. Not everybody wants to use user stories. Not everybody has user cases. I think if I hear one more IT person say all projects are IT based, I'm going to get a fit.
Of course not. But I think that's not the main point.
Okay.
That's not the main
So that's not what you mean with situational?
Size is absolutely a big point here. But the other point is, what is the expectation on you as a project manager? The expectation could be you go on a discovery tour. Yeah. If we go together to a city where we haven't been before, tell me a city where you never was? Ever where?
I haven't been to Lisbon.
Never been to another one? Lisbon is a good example.
Yeah.
I've been to Lisbon, but it's a while ago.
Yeah.
So if we go to Lisbon and we say, hey, let's have a look at Lisbon. So what are we going to do? We leave our hotel, and then go right and go left and look what we find. Maybe we have a map, or we have Google Maps today and say, hey, that could be an interesting point. And there are little trams that they have in the narrow streets and so on. So we go on a discovery tour. We don't have a big plan for that. We just look what we find.
But we have a budget and we have a timeline.
We still have a budget and there may be a timeline. We have to be back at the hotel
at 11 o'clock. But
scope
is flexible.
Scope is flexible.
Which is classical agile.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This would be agile. Yeah. This would be what agile is doing.
I think research and development is another good scenario where agile, I think, is a good application.
You have a seminar in Lisbon, and you have to get there, and you have to be there at a certain day, at a certain time. In the morning, Monday morning at, say, 8 o'clock. And
the topic has been set.
And now when you do the traveling there, you have to be well planned because you have to be there on time. Yeah. Agile has a strength and has a weakness. The strength is you can go on a discovery tour. The weakness is you cannot really produce order and predictability. Okay. Predictability and order is the weak spot of Agile. And this is not a criticism. It isn't made for that. Yeah. It was never made to bring that. And you have many projects where you need both, where you need to be at some times more Agile. You brought as an example software. When you develop software, this is often a discovery tour. You do a discovery tour in the process of the customer and the wishes of the users and of managers, and a bit also in the brain of the developer team. It's called creativity. That's also a form of discovery tour. So you follow a discovery tour and you do it all in little steps, step by step by step, you move forward. Now, the next moment, you have a big piece of software developed. Now you want to implement that. Agile people say, hey, whatever you have, just deliver it to people. But sometimes you can't do that. There's some old system and you have to replace it with a new system. So what would you do? You would have to bring predictability and order into the software environment, into this implementation environment, because there you have operational people. And they have to deliver predictability and order. And what you do is you disrupt.
Also, you have if it's an external, which is another topic we're going to get to. If it's an external project and you have a contract, most contracts in nature are not agile.
This is our next topic.